Okay, here we go, everyone. With more. Okay, make sure I'm comfortable. With more Katawa Shoujo. Alright, let's see. Where did I leave off? Oh yes, one piece of paper. Okay. So last time, poor Hanako had like a freaking panic attack to the point that she ended up kind of catatonic in class. So yeah, that's not looking too good. And she got that way because they brought up her whole birthday party thing. And now, well, now that the birthday party actually did come around, she seems to have enjoyed herself and, you know, drinking a lot of wine. Hey, Leaf. Welcome, welcome. Alright, now that said, we saw her drunk, we saw her act a little differently. But again, she was just drunk, so yeah. Looking to my clock. The time when I really should think about getting dressed and ready for class is approaching. I don't think I can manage it though. I hate cutting class, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get much done at this rate. I could tell I'd look like a mess without needing to look in the mirror to confirm it too. Are you hungover, buddy? The morning rush has given me enough time to stand outside the classroom for a little while without looking too suspicious. I hope that Muto doesn't ask any awkward questions about my not attending school yesterday. I was sick, that much is true. It's just the reasons for it that I have to hide. Confident I can get by with tactical omission of certain truths, I stride into the classroom doing my best to appear normal. Oh boy, here we go. The instant I open the door and take a single step in, I can feel a dozen eyes looking at me. There's no way I'm imagining this. They're not even making an attempt to hide it. My eyes take a quick sweep around the classroom and I spot Hanako. We make eye contact momentarily, before she looks down and stares very hard at her desk. Did she spill the beans? Muto may be okay as far as teachers go, but underage drinking on campus is not exactly something that would be taken lightly. I took to him with some trepidation. Feeling better today? Yeah, thank you. He motions for me to take my seat, my legs feeling like sticks as they carry me there. This is going to be a long day. As soon as the lunch bell rings, I'm on my way to Hanako's desk to ask her what's going on. Hanako, did you tell... She looks up at me and shakes her head. That's a big relief. Big relief indeed. It's just... Well, hello there, Hee-chan. It's nice to see you again today. I forgot Shizune can make that stupid face. You look so funny. Evil cat face. I grimace and turn towards the unmistakable voice coming from behind me. That was way too upbeat a tone of voice to feel comfortable, even for Misha. Howdy ho, Candy. You made it just in time to see Shizune's weird little evil cat glare stare thing. I don't know. Misha's happy smile is nothing out of the unusual. Shizune's, though, is a very bad sign. The one she wears has become notched into my brain as her "I have got you 7 ways from Sunday" smile. Oh no. Hi Shizune, Misha. You look happy to see me. Not feeling well yesterday, Hee-chan? No, I wasn't. But I'm feeling better now, at least. Look at them. That's good to know, Hee-chan. Why do I get the feeling that Shizune is leading me into a trap? You sound like you're not being completely serious. Oh no, Hee-chan, we're genuinely pleased that you're all better now. Shizune is positively overflowing with happiness. There's only one reason why she would be like this. Oh no. In fact, we were quite worried about you, after all. You, Hanako, and Lily were all absent from class on the same day. Yep, she's got us so thoroughly that all I can do is sigh in defeat. I guess you have your own theories about this. Could you just kind of not tell anyone? It's a bit late for that, Hee-chan. I suppose she's right, considering the looks I got as I entered class. Still, things only seem to be at the level of vague suspicion rather than outright accusations, so we'll probably be fine. Probably be fine. Emphasis on probably. Probably. Uh-oh. Hanako's face sinks a little further. Such attention is troublesome enough for me, but let alone for her. Going by Shizune and Misha's reactions, I think they noticed this as well. The only reason we're giving you such a hard time is that you ignored us yesterday morning. Yesterday morning? Takes a while to recollect what happened then. Given the haze induced by the generally awful state I was in at the time. You're hungover. You're hangover, buddy. Oh yeah, they were probably the ones knocking on his door. Oh, right. The knocking. That was you two? It was, and you left us there for ages after we'd taken all the effort of coming to your dormitory early in the morning. Sorry, I was having a problem with nausea? A problem with nausea. You're not buying it. I can't blame them. Shizune's head drops in resignation before she reaches into her pocket. Something white and yellow can be seen sticking out a little, and as she pulls it out, it turns out to be an envelope with very bright decorations on it. What the fuck? Oh wait, isn't this the Iwanako, letter? Since she points it towards me, I duly take it. This is what we're trying so hard to give you, Hee-chan. You don't check your... I tune out the sound of Misha's voice as my eyes register what's written on the envelope. Iwanako. Oh yeah, I remember... Okay, so I did... very carefully read up on some TV tropes, and I found out that Iwanako, I think I had actually pointed out during Shizune's, what's it called? Shizune's, route, when, there's a point where Kenji looks at the letter, and he says, oh, this rockfish child chick, it's because literally that's what her name translates into. The name Iwanako is literally rockfish child. And they realized, well, the creators, they kind of were just trying to kind of throw things together that, you know, sounded Japanese enough. And, yeah. They didn't realize, like, oh, wait, it's not really a name. It's actually a very strange name. I stared at the envelope for a moment, before suddenly remembering that there are people around me. That's a very strange, somewhat invasive feeling about their expressions. I kind of want to be alone right now. Iwanako? It's nothing. Thank you for bringing me this, you two. I should think so, after what we went through to get to you. I step back and say my goodbyes. Misha theatrically pouts even as I go out the door, but Shizune and Hanako remain very visibly curious about my reaction. I hope they won't interrogate me on this later. The smell of the gardens is, as always, a very pleasant sensation. Some of the most visible signs of how well funded the school is, aside from its sheer size, are the expanse and condition of the grounds. A good number of students can be seen eating lunch, chatting, and playing on the bright green lawns. Even some of the staff is enjoying the summer here, keeping watch over the students and idly walking along the long concrete paths. I had never seen a sight like this in my home city. On excursions maybe, but certainly never in the school or anywhere near where I lived. Even the bench I sit on to read is warmer thanks to the summertime sun, reminding me of why I haven't worn the school blazer even once yet. Considering this, some flowers with splashes of vibrant yellow coloring adorning the paper are quite appropriate for the time. Only the words written on it were as well. Here I was, thinking I managed to get over her, when this troublesome thing shows up. Her handwriting looks vaguely familiar at best, and only now that I see it again, I remember that she used to write in pink pen a lot. She was always very girly, for lack of a better term. But she was also quite fragile. I never knew if I liked this aspect of her or not. Though, with the arrival of this letter, that question seems to have become largely moot. The letter begins with not much more than an update on the state of things going on in her life. My old class had a good start to the school year. Many are anxious about the exams that'll be coming up in the future, etc. But it ends on a very personal, if brief, note. It feels a bit like she wrote most of the letter just to try and soften the blow from the ending. I wanted to somehow express my feelings, but the right words didn't come to me. I couldn't say anything to comfort you. I am really sorry for not being able to support you when it mattered the most, even though I like you so much. At least now, finally, I can be more honest. If I could go back to those quiet days in February and March, I'd tell you to not give up on yourself. That's what I would say. Maybe you wouldn't have just drifted so far away if I had just said something. I hope you managed to get back on your feet on your own. Now that the distance between us is also physical, it also feels more final somehow. I wonder if we will meet again. Perhaps it's for the best if we don't. Still, if you would like to correspond with me, by all means write me back. I'd very much like to hear about your new school and how you are doing. I wish you all the best. Sincerely, Hanako. Also, another thing I want to add on to the fish part of her name. It's kind of like somewhat of a reference to the fact that she is, at least for Hisao, he thinks the one that got away. So, that's that. Our relationship is over. Nice, neat, and tidy, with no ambiguity. I hadn't held on to any illusions that I could ever begin anew. The last time she visited me, neither of us said a thing. Except for the one word she said as she left for the last time. Goodbye. Be that as it may, this feels more final. A capstone on an experiment that both of us tried and failed at. A loud shout draws my eyes away from the letter. It's just some students horsing around, with one of the teachers standing nearby coming over to talk to them. Are you okay? Oh, it's Yuko. Okay, so I guess the voice would be more like, are you okay? A tentative voice comes from my side. For a moment I assumed it to be Hanako, but it's actually Yuko. Oh, hello Yuko. I thought you'd be in the library. She gives a cheerful smile, one quite fitting the atmosphere, and flourishes the empty wrapper of a roll in her hand. She must have someone else covering for her while she grabs something to eat. It reminds me that I haven't had anything to eat yet. I don't feel hungry though. And skipping one lunch won't hurt. Mind if I sit here? Sure, go ahead. I quickly slide the letter back into its envelope, slipping it inside my bag propped against the side of the bench as Yuko takes a seat. She drops the wrapper into a bin beside us. Without much else to do, I lean back and take what enjoyment I can from the sun, silently reflecting on the letter. The lush lawns, the clear blue skies, everything looks so different from the way it did back then. Even the school surroundings, when the hill is on to the woods around it, are completely opposite to the urban scenery I remember. Maybe this is what it's like to feel homesick. Then again, it's not an outright bad sensation. To feel the area around Yamaku, while very different, is also nice. I think I can get used to it. Hey, Hisao? Yeah? You didn't answer my question from before. I wasn't gonna say anything, but... You still look troubled. If you don't want to say anything, though, that's okay. I don't mind at all. I'm sorry for asking something strange like that. Oh, I don't mind. It's just... I got a letter from someone I knew before I came to Yamako. It made me think about some things. I thought I'd managed to get over most of the problems that my accident caused. But now, I'm not really so sure. I kinda wish I'd never seen it. I don't think that's good, Hisao. When my boyfriend left me, he did so very suddenly, and never let me know why. At first I was very depressed about it, but I decided to forgive him. You forgave him? Couldn't he at least have talked properly with you about it? He was always one of those people that found it difficult to come close to others. In the end, I decided that I fell in love with him for a reason. He was a good person. And I think that if I had been in his position, I would probably have found it just as hard to try and talk to him. I don't really see the connection to the letter I got. I mean that, how should I put this? It must have been very hard for that person to send that letter. And if they did, I think they must have thought very hard about exactly what to say. Hanako managed to write this letter and bring a final close to our relationship. Something that I'd never managed to do. Whereas here I am, trying to protect and help Hanako as best I can. Especially with Lily leaving for a while. And I'm not even able to deal with my own problems. Does that make sense? She's taking my non-response and furrowed brows doubt. She really reads faces too much. Just like a certain other person. Yeah, that makes sense. The letter was just kind of a shock, really. I think I tried to fool myself into thinking that my life reset when I came into Yamako. But now I'm suddenly aware that it didn't. I'm at a bit of a loss about how to deal with these feelings. I think that's something I can't really help you with. Sorry. Oh, it's fine. I think being able to talk with you helped me get things sorted out a bit better in my head. So, thank you anyway. She nods and smiles sweetly. Yuko is a nice girl, so it's a shame she's so highly strung so often. The school bell ringing out startles both. Us both. I was supposed to be back before the bell. Oops. She jumps off the bench and almost races off without a second word, but turns on her heel as she remembers she was talking to me just now. I'll see you later, Hisao. Cheer up, okay? I'll try to. Thanks, Yuko. With a quick bow, Yuko takes her leave and begins her rush to the library. Her flight catches the curious eyes of a few passing students, who are unenthusiastically trudging back to their classes after their fun. Reluctantly standing from the bench, I dust myself off and join them. Even while I walk through the gardens back to the main building, the thought of the letter in my bag doesn't stray far from my mind. So I found out also that the heart right here, it's not really referring to the girls, with them being, disabled and stuff. But the bandage is actually, well, it's actually Hisao's heart. Remember, he's the one with the heart problem. So that's why it's got the little bandage on there. The feeling of walking through the streets is one of very deep nostalgia. While Yamako may be like the reverse of where I lived in the past, the city at night is amazingly familiar. My eyes are moving constantly from the bright electronic screens glowing high in the night sky, to the street lamps piercing the darkness with their light, to the businessmen enjoying themselves after work, and the busily talking couples on dates. Even if I didn't want to, I can't help soaking in every aspect of the city. I savor its familiarity like a sweet candy sitting on my tongue. Oh, we're picking up Lily. Lily is walking to my left with her cane swaying to and fro, holding onto her sister's arm for guidance while talking to her. Compared to traveling by taxi or bus, being driven by Akira in her rather nice car was a much more enjoyable experience. Aww. I don't think we saw her in casual clothes yet, huh? Maybe not for the person on my right, though. While Lily was used to her sister's driving style, and I quite liked a bit of excitement, Hanako was holding very tightly to the door for most of the trip. Everything looks so pretty at night. Hanako quickly looks down yet again as she accidentally catches someone's gaze. Oh yeah, it does. My answer isn't very thoughtful, since I'm distracted by so many thoughts that I find it hard to keep up on small talk. One of those distractions, aside from the city sights, is how Hanako looks. This is the first time I've seen her in something other than her school uniform, or her pajamas. It gave me pause when I first saw her outfit, when we met up at the school gate. Considering how much her head is lowered when people walk near us, I imagine that the hat she wears is more than a fashion statement. While initially I was wary of Lily's plan to take us out into the city, when night fell it became obvious she had thought about this. Not many people have paid Hanako much heed, since the darkness hides her scarring well. So, we're in the city. Any ideas on what to do? Akira beams a smile. Something tells me that she's the one who is making this particular decision, even if her sister may have proposed the outing in the first place. Huh, you'll see. Just follow us. I nod and try my best to stifle a grimace. After what happened during Hanako's birthday party, I don't trust Akira's judgment all that much. We keep walking, and I notice that we're passing more and more cafes, restaurants, and other eateries. Every once in a while, a drunken man in a suit comes out of a bar, usually being supported by another, but for the most part, the customers around this part of the city look young and fashionable. Different kinds of music come and go as we pass by each business. The discord created by the overlap should be grating, but it reminds me so strongly of the times I spent in the city, with my old friends that I don't mind. Hanako and I have started to drift a little apart from Lily and Akira. That comes to a stop when I hear a soft thud from beside me. Sorry? At times she rights herself in her apologetic bow. The middle-aged businessman she bumped into is walking away after mumbling a half-hearted apology. Hanako looks a little put off by the experience, and as she quickly skips ahead to match my pace, I notice her head hanging low once more. She probably bumped into him because she was looking downwards and not where she was going. I stepped aside a little and put one hand on her far shoulder, drawing her closer. Hisao? It's okay. You can walk closer to me if you want. Hanako hesitates, but eventually nods in assent. After a couple of times when I thought we had arrived at Akira's destination, we'd reached our target. By now we're below the elevated walkways, and past the most garish and brightly lit places. I'm a bit surprised. The average age of those around us is distinctly older, and the smell of cigarette smoke is pretty thick. Ugh. The area is far from seedy, though, and it's a little amusing to see Lily's reaction to the smell of the smoke. While it's masked by the low talking of those around us, jazz music can be heard emanating from inside. Looking up at the dimly lit sign, it becomes obvious why. A jazz club. I have to admit, this isn't what I expected. Lily gives an amused snort and a smile. Somehow, I feel like I should have known it, Akira. As we walk outside, I notice more and more odd sideways glances directed our way. People awkwardly catch themselves staring and look away. That just makes it more obvious. I had noticed this occasionally when we were walking, but it's more pronounced now. I'd never expected anything like that in my life. An average-looking Japanese teenage guy, just a little taller than normal. Isn't the type to draw attention without making an effort. Hey, come on, just because you're teenagers doesn't mean you can't have a taste, right? Well, I don't really mind the music if that's what you mean. I don't mind it either. She's only just managed to force the words out. It contrasts heavily to when we were alone in Yamaku. It disappoints me a little that she's so highly strung for what's supposed to be a good time out on the town. But, bro, it's not that hard. I mean, it's not that easy to shake off anxiety sometimes. It's hard to read Hanako's face as she keeps looking downwards. It's a little wonder if she doesn't often come out in the city because of this. And it makes me a little thankful that my own scarring is easily hidden. Lily has a similar way of attracting people's gazes, but the reason for it is clearly different. She hardly looks like a native, and the same can be said for her sister. That much is far more noticeable than her blindness from a distance. And she's tall, as I heard, yeah. She may not be able to see this for herself, but I have little doubt she can hear the odd whispered phrase from people who think they're out of earshot. Be that as it may, she doesn't seem to show any sign of either annoyance or pleasure at the attention. Akita is still as confident as ever, though. Flashing a smile, she strides in with Lily by her side, and the two of us following behind. Hey Andy, welcome. I had expected my eyes to need adjusting to the light inside, but it's not much brighter than outside. The music we heard is clearer now, mixed in with the sound of glasses moving on the tables and counter, and the husky chatter of the patrons. Thinking to my right reveals the music source, a jazz group playing beyond some tables. The patrons seem to be mostly men, and though there's a handful of women, nobody looks under 30. Aside from us, of course. Feels a little like we've stepped into the 1920s, and the atmosphere is quite agreeable. I'm not completely comfortable simply because of my age, but were I older, I would probably feel quite at home. Hanako seems a bit more relaxed now, probably due to nobody looking at her. Everybody's talking between themselves, drinking, or watching the band. Akita casually takes a seat at the corner without even glancing around. She's probably come here before. Lily retracts her cane, feeling out the bar stool and the edge of the counter before taking a seat beside her sister. The bartender takes a brief break from polishing a glass to watch her, before putting it down and coming over. Good evening, ladies. What'll it be? Just a scotch, thanks. Lily? May I have a glass of... Wait, what is it? Wait, what was she about to say? I have a glass of was she about to say champagne? Or was she gonna say chamomile tea? A black suited elbow hits her side sharply. Oh no, she was about to say champagne. Okay, yeah, so yeah. She was gonna say champagne if Akira stopped her. Orange juice, please. No problem, coming right up. The bartender starts to pour their drinks. A couple of seconds pass before Akira suddenly remembers that Hanako and I are indeed here, and turns around to us. You two want anything, or are you just gonna stand there? Hanako seems to be getting a bit restless. No matter where we're going to seat ourselves, there's going to be people right next to her, and I don't think she looks convincingly older than 20, unlike Lily. Looking around, there's a game section to our right. A couple of billiards tables can be seen in the corner, and nobody's using them either. I glance to Hanako, about to ask her if she'd like to play, but she's already looking longingly in the same direction. Maybe it says something that we can get by with so few words nowadays. We'll go play pool over there. Akira leans back to see past me, before shrugging and sitting back up. It seems you'll have to put up with only me for company. How unfortunate. Have fun, you two. We turn and set off for the abandoned corner, with Hanako taking the lead. The prospect of a nice, quiet game away from everyone makes her walk noticeably faster. Her eyes stay firmly fixed on her prize. Aw shit, we're gonna play billiards? Let's go. The table's full size and well lit despite the surrounding darkness. Thanks to the bright overhead lights, a huge painting of something covers the wall. There are many people milling about this corner of the club, and I can see Hanako becoming a little less tense as a result. You know how to play? I'm no expert, but yeah, I do. Then, 8-ball? Sure. Hanako gets the chalk, and 2 cues from a set of hooks against one of the walls, while I fetch the balls from the table's pockets and grab the rack from a shelf underneath. She patiently waits as I get the table set up. After sliding the final ball into the rack and doing some last adjustments, I end up having to find my perfectionist urges in getting the bottom row balls exactly perpendicular with the edges. With the balls arranged and ready for play, I step back and take my cue from her outstretched arm. I carry on a quick inspection of the tip, where I'm satisfied that it's in good condition. So, you've played before? Once. Or twice. I just kind of know the rules. The air between us feels a little awkward. She's still pretty nervous. Understandably, given that we're in public. Eventually, the silence becomes too much even for Hanako, and she begins to quietly stammer. Oh, break. I think for a moment before reaching into my pocket and drawing a coin. I'll take heads, your tails. After a nod of agreement from Hanako, I flip the coin up in the air, catch it, and flip it over into the back of my left hand. Looks like it's you that gets to break. Oh, that's a new CG. Hanako nods again, before taking up her position at the end of the table. She's not usually this quiet around me, but I'm not wholly sure if it's because of the tidbit of information about her past that slipped out moments ago. Q comes back in a practice gesture before smacking dead into the center of the cue ball with a thud. The white ball skates across the smooth green expanse before smashing into the carefully arranged balls at the other end. Balls skitter across the table at high speed. The break was good, with the balls being nicely distributed around the table. My eyes are already flicking from one to another and pick out the easiest candidates to pocket. She just needs something to focus on. Yeah. Hanako retreats to the side and I take my shot. Well done. It's only after Hanako says this that I realize the ball I was shooting at was sunk. I look at her and notice a small smile on her face. It's nice how playing games seems to loosen her up a little. Guess I'm stripes then. I take a step back and let her take the next shot, but she doesn't advance the table. Rather, she looks down a little and rubs her arm. By now, I can identify this as one of her gestures that means she wants to say something, but isn't sure enough of herself to do it. What's up? It's just... you had a nice smile. Do you like playing this? I sigh and lean back against the table. I like playing, yeah. I think I was smiling because it's really nostalgic, though. Hanako tilts her head quizzically. Me and my friends used to play pool in the game centers near where we live pretty often. And at night, too. What are your parents? My parents both worked, so they didn't mind me not being in the house. I stayed on top of schoolwork pretty easily as well, so there was plenty of time to do other stuff at night. Our conversation dies down, with Hanako's timidity getting the better of her. In response, I get off the table and let her take her turn shooting. There aren't many solids in easy position, so Hanako bends down and takes a while to line herself up properly. Hanako's expression is the same as when we played chess. A relaxed but focused concentration. Athletes sometimes talk about getting into a zone where nothing unnecessary enters their mind. And I wonder if that's something she can do. Her posture is good, better than mine to be sure. It's very close to a textbook method of playing. Whereas I tend to contort myself into whatever position I feel is most natural for the shot I'm taking. Oh, look at that determination. She lines up the cue. The cue comes back and she does a couple of practice movements to make sure she's lined up correctly. Hanako takes games so seriously. It's the only real hobby I know she has, outside of reading. Feels good to be able to share this kind of experience with her. She takes the shot after careful consideration, and the cue ball zooms off towards the ball sitting at a slightly awkward angle near a corner. Hanako's careful preparation pays off as the cue ball hits and sends the ball rolling towards the corner pocket. For a moment it looks like it'll stop just on the lip of the hole, but it eventually tilts just enough to drop in. I got here a marathon your Hisao showed a playlist the last day or so. Whoa, you actually went through it, dang. I mean, it's quite a bit already, yeah, videos, I mean, yeah, well, streams of me reading anyway. Man, that was a hard shot. If you could pull that off, I don't think I have much hope. I'm not that good. It's not just a shot, though. Even when lining it up, you look really serious. You're like this with chess, too. The praise makes her a little flustered. She sets the cue against the table and stands turning to me. I just like those kinds of things. Her fingers are twisting and turning tightly. When I was in the orphanage, I just kept doing the things I liked. Or if I played games with the others, that was enough for the helpers there, so... I never thought about it that way. Staff in an orphanage would naturally want to have everyone socialize, at least a little. If it's okay for me to ask, what was it like for you at the orphanage? Why do you want to know? I touched a nerve. But the fact that she responded at all shows there's at least a chance she'll answer my question. Before, she would have just shrunk away from it without a word. I played Super Monkey Ball billiards with my family back in the day. Oh. I'll tell you, but... But? Could you tell me who Iwanako is? Iwanako? Oh, the letter. I wonder how long she's been waiting for the right opportunity to ask me this. I'm surprised, but don't hesitate. Sharing information is naturally a matter of give and take. She's... someone I used to like. Her nervousness subsided, at least for the time it took to ask. Her curiosity is getting the better of her, and I feel a bit uncomfortable to be questioned on this, of all matters. There's no way I could spill out all my feelings about Iwanako here. I don't even know myself what my feelings regarding her are. Even after talking to Yuko earlier. And I want to avoid the subject around Hanako. It's like, he probably feels like it's like talking about an ex. Which, in some cases, some people really don't want to hear about it, but at the same time, it depends on how it's said, I think, or how it's talked about. Because I sort of felt like my last ex kind of talked about his exes pretty often. But I wasn't allowed to talk about my exes, so, With Icy, I mean, we've talked similarly about our exes a bit. In fact, that's kind of how we first started really getting to know each other, was after my breakup with the last ex. That was when we kind of trauma bonded because, with my ex having borderline personality disorder, apparently he also had an ex who had that, and that's how we got to know each other better. We're just... in the moment, it just felt great to know that someone really understood how it was to be in that situation. Gossiping to friendship. Thinking back on it though, I have to admit that's it actually really helped with how often that he wanted to... how often we had talked, actually, back then. It really helped to, heal from the damage that he had done. And now that I think about it, though, I'm pretty sure it was around then that, we started talking a bit more. Messages and things like that. And then eventually I started becoming more, voice chats, and that was happening more often. And... I remember there was one... I'm pretty sure this is where it started. I'm pretty sure there was at least one Friday where after I finished streaming, I started talking to him again. And I was like, oh, well, I'm not sleepy yet, so you want to do a voice chat? And we started that. He was so... I remember him being pretty nervous. He sounded a little nervous, but... once the ball got rolling a bit more with, just talking, and man, did our topics jump all over the place. You could tell, like, he was relaxing. And then we started playing games together, and then that's when I started asking, hey, tomorrow, Saturday night, do you want to play together? And that ended up becoming a very regular thing. We had a good time playing a game, and then it started becoming an every Saturday night thing. We just agreed to it, like, yep, Saturday night, Saturday night. In retrospect, this was something I remember I had told him like a while ago too. Like, I was like, I think we were kind of low-key dating as it was back then. We were getting to know each other more as we were doing those voice chats. We were playing a game together that helped break the ice further, obviously. And on top of that, just having fun together. And the fact that we were agreeing to a certain time, every time. And with him, he realized, holy shit, I was waking up at 4 in the morning just to hang out with you. And he realized that he would have probably never have done it with anyone else. And yeah, that was definitely a case of one of those things where as you look back, it's like, oh, no wonder people could see it. And obviously we didn't notice it. Chilling in voice chats and playing games is some of the best bonding anyone can do. Yeah. I mean, as someone who's experienced it, yes, I can definitely say, yeah. It must be nice. So I just started that resulting from misery and commiserating. I wonder about the exact same thing. We play Terraria once or twice a week. Oh, Terraria. Yeah, me and Ice have played a bit of Terraria. He was intrigued because it was like, I told him, it was like, imagine like 2D Minecraft, but it's more RPG. I think one day we'll try that. We'll give it a... try that game together, he and I. And the more I think about it, I think me complimenting him with like well, not like yes, they're kind of compliments, but it was also straight up kind of hitting on him now that I think about it. And I was just saying like, oh, you know, just complimenting the homies. But I think that might have been me subconsciously flirting with him. I just didn't want to admit to it because maybe in the moment I was like, no, I don't know if I want to do another long distance thing all over again. It was like my waking mind was trying to block off the subconscious a bit of what I really wanted, so. Anyway. That's how he and I started, by the way. We've kind of known each other before that, but we were kind of like, oh yeah, that's that friend in the friend group that we sometimes see. That's how we kind of were seeing each other back then. It wasn't until the thing with my ex that we really started to know each other. So Minecraft hasn't played a lot of other games. So far she's been, oh yeah, I mean Terraria is really great. So you kids have a good night, Ellie. Well, it is just kissing I can talk about, so yeah. We have kissed in person, so yes. This OST Red Velvet is definitely one of the best in the game. Such good, yeah, it is. It's very calming to listen to, and I got a bad relationship too. I kind of figure how it's mirrored your situation was exactly. I think what really helps Kendi And I say this I don't say this lightly. But I feel like the main reason Icy and I ended up attracted to each other and have a solid relationship as we do now is because from the beginning we've learned. No, well, yeah, I guess we did learn, but we're like good friends to each other. Like, we've learned to be friends with each other in enjoying hanging out with someone and just, I don't know, like, being able to trust them and confide in them and stuff. But like, there wasn't the expectation of romance either, so yeah, like, so yeah, we just know how to be friends, and I think that's how we really just have fun in general, that's how we enjoy each other's presence. Okay, I just realized it's one of those freaking little coincidences that happens in life. Yeah, it is definitely a coincidence, yeah. But I am just saying that it would also help her heal if she's gone out of a bad relationship. I'm not sure how long it'll take for her to bounce back, but I know it took me a while to really like move on from what happened and basically push it back as just a bad chapter in my story. So alright, so continuing onward, because I digressed a bit right there. Hanako doesn't look overly satisfied with the awkward ending to the discussion, but thinks better of continuing it. She was only just managing to ask me in the first place, without knowing that I wouldn't want to talk about it. Alright, give me a second, hold on, I need water. I moved to finally take my shot. The lack of talking between us is filled by the chatter of other patrons in the band at the other end of the club. Spotting a shot that doesn't look too difficult, I try and shoot for it. The cue ball taps the ball and the trajectory is about right. But I put in too much power. It grazes the corner of the hole and moves off the side, just skirting the pocket. I grit my teeth a little. I was pretty good at this game. It's frustrating to have deteriorated so much. I step back and let Hanako take her turn, glancing towards the counter where Lily and Akira are sitting. They're talking busily between themselves and seem to be having a good time. I turn back to Hanako as she takes her shot. With the same face as before, she lines herself up and sharply pushes the cue. Just as before, she sinks the ball she was aiming for. It drops into the side pocket more cleanly than her last throw. It looks as if she's getting a bit more into the groove of the game. Nicely done. She hesitates for a moment and begins to address me without turning her head. The orphanage was nice. It felt a bit like Yamaku does, and the staff was really kind. But as the years went on, I realized something. I was different. It was strange to hear her speak so candidly about herself. She's audibly forcing the words out. It reminds me of when she insisted she tell me about the fire. Hanako must feel that she has to tell me of such things, if I'm willing to tell her about my own past. Her grip on the cue tightens as she continues to speak. Most of the children there were up for adoption, just like I was. But, unlike me, they gradually left, one by one. By the time I went to Yamaku, I was among the oldest children there. For a while, I helped with some of the younger children. But eventually... I lay a hand on her shoulder. She's forcing herself by now. It's okay. She looks mildly surprised for a moment, but then nods before setting down her cue and turning towards me. Do you really think so? Yeah, I think so. Even while Lily's away, I'll be around to protect you, right? Hanako looks at me for a long time, and I'm taken a bit off guard. Her expression hasn't changed from before, still looking somewhat maudlin. And silences between us aren't unusual. I think it's the fact that she's holding such prolonged eye contact that makes this feel a bit odd. It feels as if she's judging me. It's a very strange, vaguely uncomfortable feeling. Hanako? I understand. Thank you. She smiles and looks away a little, but it feels stilted. Hanako isn't very good at faking emotions. But this is no exception. I move to the table and take my turn to try and distract myself, but it doesn't seem to work. Does she think I'm not up to the task of helping her? Is she disappointed in me? It depends on how you're helping her, buddy. I'm already concerned that you had the thoughts earlier of basically, I can fix her. It's one thing to be like, you're my project and I'm gonna fix you. And then also, there's a difference between that and also, you know, like, I know you have problems, but I want to support you. A white knight syndrome. Yep. I'm probably overthinking this. Our silences are just an accepted fact of life by now. Sometimes I do wish she'd speak more. With a thud, I send the white sphere careening down the table into my target. Hanako sees what's happening just as I do. The ball hits hard with the striped ball line intended to sink, veering off towards the 8-ball. Ooh. Sure enough, as both Hanako and I look on and bite our lips, they connect, and the black ball rolls leisurely into a corner pocket. All I can do is sigh. It looks like Hanako is smiling again, though. So maybe it wasn't for naught. Ugh, that was an awful shot. You win. Seems like I'm getting pretty rusty after all this time. Hanako bends down, gets to shoot the remaining balls into the closest pockets. I almost ask if we could play another game, but a quick check of my watch confirms that the night is getting pretty late. Lily and Akira appeared to be still drinking in the corner. Seems like we'll have to drag them away. Hisao. I turn back to Hanako, who's still looking over the table. Still looking over the pool table shooting balls. Her voice sounds different from before. I'm here for you as well. I said I find myself blushing. It's only natural that she respond this way, given what I said earlier. But it's still a shock to actually hear it. Just, what is my relationship with this girl? I want to protect her, make her happy. I'm not really sure that it's something like love, but I don't think these are the same kind of feelings I have for Lily either. I feel... Oh... Oh, buddy. Just that first 5 words there. He doesn't know it, but I'm remembering the Lily root and how he felt when he saw in Lily, it looked like she was pitying him, and he didn't like that. And not only that, but this is also reminding me of a Fruits Basket. That like that's my favorite, one of my favorite shoujo mangas and all that, and anime. And there's a point where they ask the main character, like, are your feelings for him really genuine? And she goes, well, yeah, I just feel sorry for him. And then one of the girls like, no, like she literally slaps her. Like, no, you're not gonna be just like feeling sorry for him. Like, if you're gonna be doing this, it's gonna be out of genuine love, not because you have pity for him. Pop that kettle, yeah. Yep, indeed. Over time, she did realize that her feelings for him were genuine, and it wasn't just... like, it didn't come from pity, really. But, yeah. Oh, man. I feel sorry for her, having gone through so much in her life. Her parents died in a house fire. She lived in an orphanage for much of her childhood. I can't even imagine that kind of life. But I feel like there's so little I can do for her. Especially now that Lily is going to be leaving the country. So little I can do for her? Are you trying to do, like, everything for her? I'm sorry, but this is starting to come off like kind of like mothering. I mean, I don't know, man. I think he can... I really hope there's choices that we can make that will pull away from that, but man, Hisao. Okay, let's continue. Hanako and I finished tidying up the table and cues, and pick up Lily and Akira on our way out of the club. It was like something changed between Hanako and me. I can't quite place what it is, but Hanako is acting differently now. I feel like we're further apart, if anything. What? So, you enjoy yourselves? Hanako and I both nodded and agree. The game was good, and we both did learn more about each other. So it's an honest answer. So are you apart, or... Lily appears to be a little distracted. Worried about the trip, Lily? She pauses before sighing and smiling weakly. A little. It means quite a bit. The comment earns her a clap on the shoulder from her sister. Hanako smiles back, too. You'll be okay, Lily. I hope you can enjoy your time over there. Thank you, Hanako. I'll try to. It'll be nice to be back with my family, after all. No matter for how brief a time it may be. With that, the four of us begin to walk to the car park where Akira's car is. We continue to talk between ourselves, but it's mostly just small talk. Oh boy. Right then, are you taking the bus, Lily? Lily motions to a large suitcase standing beside her. I'd have to take this baby, so I booked a taxi. It'll meet us at the school gates in about 5 minutes. Oh, I see. Lily reaches down and fills out the hand over her suitcase. Its weight causes her some difficulty, so I quickly offer to take it myself. That is awfully kind of you, Hisao. She has no qualms about accepting, and I ended up picking it up. It's not what I call light, but it's not exactly heavy either. I don't think I'll have too much trouble carrying it. Well, thank you then. We should hurry though. If the taxi leaves, then it will take quite a while to book a new one. Are you ready, Hanako? I understand where Hisao's coming from with not being able to do much for her. Lily has known Hanako for a long time. Hisao still knew I'd make her feel comfortable. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, let's go. We rush to the gate as fast as we can, only to find that a taxi has yet to arrive. Well, nothing like a bit of exercise in the morning. The nurse told me that I should be doing that. I think he probably had other things in mind, Hisao, and probably with more regularity. Do you intend to be helping people with their luggage every day? I guess not. Looks like we got a bit to wait anyway. How long should we wait for the taxi before calling them again? I would say another 10 minutes, but they never let me down before. There's probably just a little traffic. Okay then. So, how long is the flight to Scotland? About 16 hours, if I remember correctly. It's a bit hard to tell with the changing time zones. So long. Now that I realize Hanako's been unusually quiet, even for her. She doesn't handle stress well, so she's looking really uptight. Yeah, I can't imagine being on a plane for that long. I've only flown on a short family holiday up north, so it really is quite hard to fathom. If Hanako spent so much of her childhood at an orphanage, she's probably traveled very little, let alone flown. It's not too bad. I'll spend most of it either asleep or catching up on my English. I hardly use that here, so I need to re-familiarize myself with it a little bit. Will your accent be a problem? I wouldn't worry about that too much. It may be an issue initially, but I should be fine once I get used to it. We all moved to sit down on the small bench beside the school gate in silence. Strangely enough, even though I know that Lily is going away, I can't think of anything to say to her. Lily is a reliable person, so it might be because she isn't the one that I'm thinking of most. Lily might not be able to see it, but Hanako's chewing her fingernails nervously. I moved to talk to her, but I can hear an engine straining up the hill before I get the chance. I think the taxi is on its way. Well spotted, Hisao. I only just heard it as well. A small wave of pride washes over me. To have noticed something at the same time as Lily must mean that I've become more aware of my surroundings. Anyway, we won't have to call a taxi company or worry about missing Lily's plane. Once the taxi stops where we're standing, the driver rolls down a window and leans over. After confirming that yes, Lily is the same Lily Sato that booked the trip, we sort out her luggage. The driver opens the trunk of the taxi and takes Lily's suitcase. With Lily climbing into the back seat as he loads into the trunk and slams it shut. After getting back into his seat and shutting the doors, he waits for us to say our farewells. Have a safe trip, Lily. Lily. Yeah, take care of yourself. Hanako looks understandably downcast, and that much is obvious even in her voice. Of course I will. I'll be back before long, don't worry. There will still be another person here for you too, won't there, Hisao? Oh yeah, of course. I turn and smile at Hanako, put my hand on her shoulder. She only manages to keep eye contact with me for a couple seconds, her cheeks red all the while, before turning back to Lily. See you, Lily. Goodbye. Lily gives her farewells to the both of us, with a fair measure of reluctance. Without further ado, the driver starts the engine once more, and they begin the journey down the hill and towards the airport. The two of us stand at the gates for a long time, even after they disappeared from sight, not really knowing what to do. So, what do you want to do? I don't know. This sounds boring as fuck. I think we should go into the city. Because someone's saying like, oh, well, we got nothing in mind. Let's just call it a day. Bye. Come on, man. By this time, you were almost done with Lily's route. Oh, shoot. But before I do, let's just, you know, do this just in case. The bus stop, standing by the school gates like a mute sentinel, with a strange idea in my mind. Do you want to head into town and look for a bookshop or something? We have the rest of the day free. It's a long shot, as Hanako doesn't like going to the city. I count the fact that we managed to get her out there, even when it was so dark, as a small miracle. But I generally want to spend more time with her. Yeah, see, there you go. Anyway, she's likely to just refuse and go back to the library. Okay. Wait, oh, really? Really? Let's go. I can't work out why Hanako has decided to agree with me, but I'm not about to ask her to change her mind. Ayo! Bookshop date, let's go. Stepping off the bus, I immediately noticed a lot of people around us. In hindsight, it should have been obvious. Of course, lots of people will be downtown on a Saturday afternoon. Hanako retreats close to my side. I can feel her hand clutching my arm tightly. Her body is held against mine, and her head is bowed so low that her hat hides most of her scarring. So, where shall we go? A bookshop? Hanako's present. And my other general living expenses have pretty much drained my budget, so I should be able to afford a few books. They're something I try to reserve a few funds for anyway. For a second, I think Hanako didn't hear me. But then I looked to my side and noticed her nodding almost imperceptibly. Okay. Do you know of one? Actually, I do. We passed a few when Lily and I were looking for your presents. Na's expression clouds a fraction. I've got to remember to stop bringing up her birthday. You both spent a lot of time? Or maybe I misjudged the situation. We want to make sure we got the right present after all. Hanako smiles and blushes a bit. It's a small treasure when she does. This is a story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world. When she looks so sad in photographs, I absolutely love her when she smiles. Anyway, there should be a bookshop just up ahead. Do you want to check it out? She liked billiards after all. Yeah, she did like billiards, yeah. Sure. The crowd started to build as we head towards the bookshop along the raised walkways. Hanako latches her arm onto me as well, making our progress a little slower. As we walk, the sound of traffic makes me think of a possible distraction for her. I was wondering, Hanako, have you thought yet about when you're going to learn to drive? Driving? Yeah, you're kind of lucky in a way. There aren't a whole lot of students in Yamako that are allowed to drive. It's not the best topic of conversation, but I want to try and distract Hanako from the situation. She's really highly strung right now. Then again, all I've really done is make her feel awkward. She's probably never thought about it. I wish I hadn't said anything. Before long, we are before one of the bookshops Lily and I passed by during our search. What kind of self-respecting bookshop closes on Saturdays? Bookshops don't make much money anymore because of the internet. Maybe they just had to close over weekends. She seems pretty knowledgeable about technology. I guess it's a pursuit that would lend itself well to someone who enjoys solitude. I guess that makes sense. It's easier to find books online. Anyway, Webroot, get the fuck out of here. Shh. Go. Alright. Anyway, it looks like this idea is shot. Anything else you'd like to do? If it's not a bother, could you show me where you bought my present? Oh, sure, not a problem. It's not far from here. I head off in the direction of the store, only half sure of its exact location. I don't want to repeat it the last time, spending half the day walking around aimlessly. Here we are. Othello's Antiques. I almost said antiques. It's small. Well, yes. It took Lily and me some time to find it. Can't we go in? I don't see why not. It's open. Hanako pushes through the door and enters before me. Once again, the store is empty, save for the store owner. His face drops low when he sees me. Oh, you're not here for return, are you? Wait, that's not the girl you had with you last time. No, we're not here to return anything. We were just in town and wanted to have another look in here. Store owner considers this for quite a long time. I guess he's not used to high school students coming to his shop on a regular basis. Might this be the friend you bought gifts for? Oh, that's right. They were presents for her. The store owner turns to Hanako, who freezes on the spot like a deer caught in the headlights. He moves to address her, but stops before doing so, looking a little taken aback. Oh. He catches himself staring and looks to the side, addressing us indirectly. His expression is awkward and tense, as is his entire body. Oh, he was... I want to be mad at him, but I know full well that I had the same instinctive reaction when I first saw her. First surprise, then curiosity, then an awkward look away as I dealt with what I'd seen. Hanako looks less panicked than before, but I think the feeling she's giving off now is worse. It's not anger nor annoyance. If anything, it's one of apology. You're lucky there, young lady, to have friends that care about you as much as they do. Thank you. If I hadn't spent so much time with Hanako, I wouldn't even have realized that she said anything. Then again, the store owner's mumble was hardly clear either, thanks in part to being directed away from us. Hanako strikes out into the store, gazing in wonder at the various items on display. She finds the doll section, and spends lingering minutes studying each and every one. Hold up. Whose picture is this over here? This looks like it might be actually like a real person. Like, it looks pretty detailed, but anyway. It's a side of Hanako I've only barely been introduced to. I was astonished when Lily said she liked dolls, and even more so to find her collection sitting on her dresser. She looks a little better now that she's distracted and out of the store owner's sight. But I'm still quite put off by the whole experience. I might have my own problems, but I've never had strangers react to me like that. As if I was something completely alien to them. This is a nice shop. Yeah, it's not what I expected. Do you want to buy something? I didn't bring any money. Oh, we can always come again. No, now that I know where to find it, that is. We can? Of course. You can come here as often as you like. Thank you. You don't need to thank me. I almost forgot where this place was. I don't really think either of us completely believes in what we're saying. But rather, we're just repeating what we think we should say. Can we go back to the school now? Sure thing. Let's go. Her social battery might be low right now. She's dealt with a bunch of crowds. As we leave for the bus stop, I see the store owner peek through the curtain at the back of the shop. I'm not really sure what that glance he gives to her says. It feels a bit weird, and the fact that Hanako didn't see it is both a relief and a bit frustrating. Maybe it's better she didn't see that. Hanako and I stopped walking once we reached the concrete area between the dormitory buildings. There's barely a word said between us on the way back from the city. Well then. Goodbye. Do you want to have some tea or something? How about a game? Hanako shakes her head embarrassedly. I'm tired. Maybe later? I've got homework. She sounds a little depressed. Hanako obviously does want to do more, but I suppose she would have a bit of schoolwork to catch up on. She's missed a few days of lessons. Homework. Thanks for reminding me. I got a stack to do as well. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. See you, Hisao. Before I can say goodbye, Hanako has turned and begun walking towards the entrance to the female dormitory building. I look at the door she disappears through it for a bit, before going off towards my own dorms. Today was a tiring day. Scars? Oh, that's his scar. Oh. He's got like the zipper scar because of the surgeries. I woke up, took my pills, had a nice shower, quickly slipped on my uniform, ate a tasty breakfast, grabbed my bag, and headed off, all as per my usual daily routine. It was only after arriving in class that the normality of the day was thrown off. After taking my seat, I watched my classmates trickle into the room over the next hour, until every empty seat was eventually taken, other than Hanako's. Oh, there's Shizune there. I can never get used to the idea that she just doesn't show up to class every now and again. It feels all the more worrying now as well, given that Lily's left. As Muto continues to drone on, I find my gaze flicking ever so often over to her seat, as if she might appear there any moment now. Nobody else seems to care at all about her absence, but they have little reason to. Hanako being absent from class, after all, is perfectly normal. Or at least it was. Her attendance hasn't been all that bad from what I've seen in my time here, but it was apparently much more spotty beforehand. This is also an ominous time for her to be gone. It's the day before her birthday, and my suspicions are starting to rise. After the breakdown she had in class when it was mentioned. An increasing amount of my thoughts is taken up by how I can help her. But in the end, I feel like I can't do anything. A bell heralding the beginning of lunchtime rings out, shaking me out of my thoughts. A collective sigh of relief can be heard from the class. The Muto looks quite put off. He dislikes being interrupted in the middle of his exciting lectures, after all. Just when I'm wondering what I should do on lunch break. Given that Hanako and Lily aren't here, the solution presents itself. Of course. It's always these two. Afternoon, Hee-chan. Afternoon, Misha, Shizune. You both look as bright as ever. Shi-chan wants to know if you'd like to have lunch with us today. Sure. It'll be good to have some company. The cafeteria hums with activity, much like my old schools did. Yamako is different, though, in how strangely civilized the lunchtime rush is. What one would expect to be an unruly mob chomping at the bit to get to the serving area is rather a neat and organized line. There's a small amount of jostling, and people's heads are often craning around to check on what's happening up ahead, but it's pretty subdued. This is due, no doubt, to the very serious rules regarding such matters in this school. Same strict discipline is observed when students move in the hallways, or come to and from other dormitories in the school day. While the reasons for it may be slightly off-putting, I've come to quite like the sense of order that's enforced in school. I didn't really like being told by Shizune and Misha to get their lunches, though. I feel a little used as I take a seat at the table where they're sitting, plunking their food down in front of them. Sweet bread and strawberry milk for Misha, a bowl of ramen and juice for Shizune. I heave a sigh of relief as I put it all down, after the significant difficulty I had carrying it all in addition to my own lunch. Thank you! Misha claps her hands together before popping open the wrapper and digging into her bread ravenously. Shizune simply gives an appreciative nod for giving her steaming ramen a stir and blowing on it a little to cool it down. I open my own lunch, another packet of sweet bread, and take a bite before washing it down with some juice. The bread is very sweet, so much so that I end up forcing myself to stomach it just to get the experience over with. Midway through, I decide to take a break from the difficult task and ask what's on my mind. So, I'm guessing you two had a reason to drag me down here? You two seem to always have an ulterior motive after all. What do you say, He-san? You won't have another for motive? Her mouth is full of sweet bread as she speaks. It's a pretty unpleasant sight. She looks a little grossed out. We're going back to eating her ramen. I wait until Misha swallows what she has in her mouth before speaking again. You're not buttering me up to make me work with you after school? Nope. Not trying to extract information from me that I might not want to give? Nuh-uh. Oh, fine, you win. I guess you just want to eat lunch with someone as intelligent and as handsome as me, then. That's it, Hee-chan. You got it. Shizune looks unimpressed as Misha finishes signing our conversation. It sucks in the last of a long noodle as she signs her own thoughts. Shi-chan says you shouldn't be so suspicious of us. She's just doing her duty as a class representative after all. How is she, are you doing that? As much as I hate to admit it, it looks as if I still have trouble communicating with Shizune. It should be a simple matter of keeping eye contact with her and addressing Shizune instead of Misha in my speech. But when somebody else is doing the talking for her, That's a surprisingly difficult task. It's the class representative's job to ensure everybody's doing alright in class, isn't it? Not really. Wait, how is making me get your food ensuring that I'll go well in class? She's in a huff and adjusts her glasses disapprovingly. Hang on. Oh, okay, water. So this is the thanks we get for giving you companionship during lunchtime. That's a total dodge of the question. Wait, hang on. How did you know that I... Lily's away and Hanako is absent. And since those two are the only people you hang around with, you also made it kinda obvious to see. Hisao was being denser. Yep. At least I'm not trying to get him on like student council anymore. Ouch. I may well have done so, but she didn't need to rub it in. Maybe this is payback for before. Right, well, thanks. I appreciate it, and that isn't sarcasm. The two nod, and we get back to finishing our meals. It feels a little embarrassing to be accompanied just because they notice I was lonely. But it isn't as if they're strangers either. It isn't long before I finish the last of my bread and start on the last of my juice. And as I do so, I find my mind wandering back to what I've been thinking about before the two interrupted my train of thought. It feels like I'm the only one in the class that so much as acknowledges Hanako not being there. I feel like this the other time she skipped class. But now, it's even more acutely annoying. Just nobody cares if she's happy or not? Have they just written off any possibility of helping to make her better? Helping to make her... Even Muto doesn't try to keep her in class. And I'm still not wholly convinced by his reasoning. Hey, Hichan, is your juice past its expiry date? What? You were pulling a weird face, like this. As if it were needed, Misha mimics my own expression. Her exaggeration makes me grimace, though Shizune at least takes some amusement from it. I was just thinking about Hanako. Oh? Misha's interest is piqued, and so is Shizune's, once my words are interpreted for her. I'm just worried about her being absent so often. Especially now, though, with her birthday coming around. The memories of that incident in class are still fresh in their minds. Their faces alone are telling that much. Do you know anything about Hanako? Anything that might help? Misha shrugs and looks to Shizune, who mulls on this for a while. The only people she's ever talked to for more than a sentence or two are you and Lily. Shizune may not be able to convey Lily's name in a derisive tone of speech, but I feel as if it comes through in her own sign language. The effect is lost, however, after Misha's interpretation. There are a couple of things we know about Hanako as student council members, thanks to the records that pass through our hands, but we can't say anything about what's in them. Understandable. Sounds a lot like the nurse's patient confidentiality. Every time I find someone that knows something about Hanako's past, it turns out being a dead end. The only way I'll ever find out is by asking her. I don't know if she'll let me know such things. But if it's for her sake, I have to at least try. Don't worry about it, Hichan. It happens every year after all. That doesn't remove my sense of worry at all. I still feel a little at fault for what happened in class. This feels like it goes further, even without their confirmation of the fact. Misha notes my troubled expression, her own usually happy and reassuring face dropping. Everyone has problems they have to deal with, right, Hichan? Yeah, I just wish I could help Hanako more with hers. With that, the conversation trails off on a depressing note. Eventually, Misha manages to pick the mood back up through her usual bright and bubbling antics. but my mind remains focused on Hanako. Why did the music stop? I'll go check on her later. I make sure my door is locked after dropping off my school bag. The dorms are quiet. Muto kept me occupied longer than expected, discussing my studies after class ended, and pressing on me some worksheets to give to Hanako, almost as an afterthought. Is Kenji gonna show up? Absorbed in thought, I'm late in registering the shadow that appears in front of me. Looking up reveals the owner of said shadow. I knew it. Whenever I see this fucking hallway, I always feel like Kenji's gonna pop up out of nowhere. Hey man, haven't seen you in a while. Oh, hi. What's with that response? My absent-minded greeting visibly annoys him. I probably have had the same reaction. Sorry, just think about a lot of stuff. Thinking is a pretty poor excuse to not be aiding the war effort. And how goes the war? I am preparing. Right now, I need money to help with those preparations. If you want me to loan you money, just say it. No, man, I'm good. You're good. You don't want my money. Hey, man, don't look so surprised. It's insulting. You will never escape it. Make sure my door is locked with this guy lurking. I know, this freaking Harry Potter wannabe. I'm pretty big in the competitive bowling season, but yesterday I found some guys who didn't know that. I'm fairly sure that betting would be against the school rules. The school rules don't matter. This is a war situation. People these days, they have no appreciation for what war means. So what do you need this money for, dare I ask? Non-perishable canned food, building materials, mostly corrugated iron and wood panels, first aid kit, camping heater, portable radio, sleeping bag, flashlight, mechanical clock. At first, it strikes me as a rather random assortment of objects and materials, but after a few seconds, it clicks. Isn't that a list of materials for a fallout shelter? Ah, so you've read a Protect and Survive booklet. It's good to see someone so knowledgeable about how to protect themselves. You don't seriously think it's a non-zero possibility? No, I'm pretty sure there's zero possibility of that ever happening. He slowly, dramatically raises an eyebrow. Well, as dramatically as one can raise an eyebrow. The chance is, I don't know, 0.1 to the trillionth place. It's infinitesimal. Besides, where can you build a fallout shelter anyway? Certainly not on campus. It's my summer holiday project while I'm at home. My dad said I can do it. Really? Yeah, you gotta improve my crafting skills and manual dexterity. Or something. I think Kenji, his dad probably just thought it might keep him out of his hair for a while. Yeah, sure, son, whatever, go do that thing. Oh, man. Still, it does make me wonder what his parents are like. Maybe they're totally normal. And Kenji is just an aberration. On the other hand, maybe this kind of paranoia and fearful survivalism runs in the family. Hey, wanna help me build it? You look like the type to be handy with tools. If I had your help, we could make a really badass bunker instead of just a fallout shelter. I doubt that. Playing soccer before my accident gave me good footwork. I've never really tried my hand at anything approaching real handiwork. I'm not really. I'm busy over the holidays anyway, I'm afraid. A shame. If the feminists ever get a hold of the launch codes, I fear that so few will be prepared. And your fallout shelter will protect you from a nuclear bomb explosion, in the case that this does happen. A fallout shelter isn't meant to protect against the blast. That's what a blast shelter is for. I thought you knew better. My mistake. My home's pretty far away from any major military sites, so the fallout following a nuclear exchange is a bigger concern than the blast itself. What this will do is keep the dust and other particulates away from me, my food supply, my sleeping area. Gotta last me at least 14 days though. 14 days is a pretty long time. It is. I need 1 liter of water a day for drinking. 2 optimally so I can wash this well. Toiletry is easy enough. Just garbage bags and a bin placed outside the shelter area. Food means canned supplies, of course. Of course. And the radio is for outside communication. Oh, right. So I can pick up government alerts on what's going on outside. I need a mechanical clock rather than an electric one in case the electromagnetic pulse from a nuclear airburst fries the two. There's all the other stuff I need as well, like extra clothing, matches, candles. I think I still have time to gather it all, though. Maybe. As much as I hate to say, I'm a little impressed. He's really researched this and thought it through. Then again, I don't know if I want to live in a post-apocalyptic world with only people like Kenji having survived. It sounds like you really... Oh man. It sounds like you really know what you're doing. Damn right I do. It must be hard, living in constant fear like this. He hardly ever socializes either. The fact he went bowling with others is in itself something of a surprise. This mentality reminds me a little of a certain someone. Thankfully, her fear of others doesn't manifest in such a distinctly eccentric way. One thing I know for sure is I certainly can't tell him exactly why I haven't been hanging around with him much recently. It's late. I have stuff to do. I'll think about making a fallout shelter or something though. Yeah, alright, that's cool, man. A man has to do what he's gotta do after all. You should hang out with me sometime, by the way. You're a cool dude. Cool dudes should hang out together, right? For some reason, that compliment actually feels kind of nice. The situation with Hanako being what it is, though, means I probably won't be able to fulfill this request. For now, at least. Yeah, she's the best. Oh, that'd be good. I'll talk to you later about it when I can. Cool. Later, dude. He retreats to his dormitory room. I had better go see Hanako. I stand outside of the door to Hanako's room, hoping that she isn't too much of a state as I nervously clutch the worksheets Muto asked me to pass on to her. It's one more reason to visit her, and it gives me something to talk about, so I suppose I should be thankful to him for giving me the task. With a long breath, to steady myself, I wrap my knuckles on the door in front of me. Silence. I listen intently for any sound of shuffling coming from inside, but I can't hear a thing. Like Kenji's character is the only way it came from 4chan. Yeah, definitely. Oh, Kenji. I knock on the door again, slightly harder. Still no answer. How strange. Scratching my head, make one last attempt at getting her to answer as I knock on the door one final time. Hanako, it's just me. Muto said to give you some stuff. For a while, the attempt seems just as unsuccessful as the last. Just before I slip the sheets under her door, though, I hear the handle rattling. As the door opens halfway, I quickly try to see how Hanako's faring. It's a task made somewhat more difficult by her oversized gown hiding so much of her body. She doesn't look sick, or at least not immediately so. To be honest, I'd have preferred that to her expression right now. She looks terribly tired, and appears to be barely acknowledging my presence. Hi, Hanako. Muto wanted me to give you these since you weren't in class today. I hold out the loose sheets, which she tentatively takes in her hands. The way she moves is devoid of thought. Her posture is slumped, an unusual manner for someone that is so often tense and wound up. Even her eyes looking away from mine, doing their best to avoid eye contact. I move my head a little to try and get a better look, but she just ends up turning away. Are you okay? If you're feeling sick or anything, I could go get a nurse. It feels almost pitiful to put on such a routine, get well soon act. Can't think of anything else I could possibly do for her, though. She seems to collect herself a little at the notion, but only a little. Her head remains turned away, but her eyes move towards me. I'm fine. An awkward silence follows. As it lingers, I notice that the sleeves and the cuffs of her gown bear slightly damp stains. Her cheeks are a bit red too. Has she been crying? I see. I hesitated a little before coming out with the words I really came here to say. Would you like me to stay? I don't have anything urgent to do at the moment, so it wouldn't be any trouble. Her eyes slide away from mine, and I lose any hope for an improvement of her mood. I wait for a response, but she doesn't say anything, or give any kind of gesture. She just stands there, looking away from me. Hanako? She slowly shakes her head. Okay. Good night then. With that, Hanako steps back and closes her door without a second word. More than a little worried, I retreat back to my room. Wandering up the hallway, I keep mulling over what happened. It felt like Hanako was only half there, as if I was interacting with a robot that was just doing what it was programmed to without any real thought. She was a husk of a person. It's frustrating. I hoped that meeting Hanako would help the situation, but I feel like it's only made it harder to understand her. How am I supposed to try and help her when she quite literally shuts me out like that? I don't even bother to turn on the light, opting instead to simply change into my pajamas, quickly choke down my evening pills, and collapse into my bed. Oh man. Once again, Hanako doesn't turn up for class. Try as I might to concentrate on other matters, this fact continues to distract me throughout the entire school day, and even as I walk through the school gardens to the dormitories. I don't think today being her birthday is a coincidence either. I don't know the link between the two events though, nor do I have any idea on what she's feeling. Were it physical pain, I could at least provide some limited comfort. With something like this though, I have no idea where to start. I run the people I know through my head, thinking about whether they could help. Shizune and Misha don't know that much about Hanako. And what little they do know, they can't tell me. Same for the nurse. In the end, there's only one person that knows Hanako well, and would be willing to tell me anything. Yet, you have to call Lily. I enter my dormitory room, I notice something that takes me off guard. It's starting to feel familiar. With everything that's going on around me, I'm thankful that this room started to finally be somewhere I can relax a little. When I first entered Yamako, it felt immediately foreign in every way, from the untouched neatness to the way it smelled. Focusing back on the task at hand, I throw my bag onto the bed as I open up the top drawer of my desk. Before she left, Lily told me the number to call her on while in Scotland, and I wrote it down. In hindsight, I wonder if she knew something like this could happen. Now that she's out of reach, I realize just how much both Hanako and I have relied on her for guidance. I dig around drawer after drawer, looking for that damn piece of paper. Eventually, thankfully, I find it nestled under a borrowed library book. I probably should have just entered it directly into my cell phone, come to think of it. Without further ado, I enter the numbers and anxiously press the call button. Eventually the phone picks up, a feminine voice I don't recognize on the other end. It's probably Lily's mother. English. English? Suddenly I find myself unprepared. I realize that I can't understand a word she says, either due to my limited vocabulary or her heavy accent. I should have anticipated this, since according to Lily, her mother is a native Scot. I still draw in the hope that she might know some Japanese, considering it's her daughter's native language. It's Hisao Nikai speaking. An enthusiastic sound of realization can be heard as she recognizes the language. My feeling of relief is immense. Oh, you must be one of Lily's friends from school, correct? I don't know how to do a Scottish accent. Even so, her accent means I had to concentrate to work out what she's saying. Yeah, that's right. Pleased to speak to you, Mrs. Sato. It's so nice of her to find someone so polite. Lily, dear, it's for you. Mother seems nice, if a little more enthusiastic given the mundane situation. There's a small silence as Lily takes her time getting to the phone. In the distance. Oh, give me a second, hang on. Okay. In the distance, I can just make out her mother scolding her playfully for just getting up. Hello, Lily speaking. You sound awful. She makes it sound somewhere between a dying animal and a yawn. The one thing I do remember to check before calling was the time zone. It'd be pretty late in the morning over there, so she really has no excuse. Not feeling well? Just tired. What time is it there? Late afternoon. School finished for the day not long ago. Hanako's not well, is she? That was quick. My assumption that she must have known something like this could happen seems to have been on the mark. How did you know? Because today is her birthday. I'd hoped she might have gotten at least a little better after coming to know you, but... How is she right now? She missed school today and yesterday. I still have to check up on her today. To be honest, after seeing how she was when I talked to her yesterday, I'm pretty anxious. I really have no idea what to make of it. Has this happened in the past? Is it related to her scarring in some way? Unfortunately so. Roughly the same thing happened last year when her birthday came up. As far as I can tell, it's because her parents died in the accident that caused her scarring. And Hanako blames herself for their deaths. What she says does seem to make sense. If she's blaming herself on her birthday, she may well be ruining that she was ever born. Hanako had mentioned her stay in the orphanage to me. Maybe I should take some heart that she trusts me enough to tell me such a thing. Lily is seeming so in the dark about it, though. Almost the extent that I am, is a surprise. So that's why she lives in the student dormitories as well. Has she told you any more about the accident? As close as we've become, she's very barely told me anything about what happened. What I know about it is largely conjecture. Oh, sorry, give me a second. She sounds depressed, almost defeated, considering the trauma Hanako must have gone through. I really can't fault Lily for not knowing. Nevertheless, she still seems to consider it a personal failing. Don't blame yourself, Lily. With everything she's gone through, there's long silence from the other end of the line. I begin to wonder if the call cut out, or the voice at the other end speaks again. There is another person, though, that has been a subject of worry for me as of late. Oh? I run through the people she could be talking about in my head. The only friends she seems to keep very close are Hanako and me. Though there is Akira as well. That person is you, Hisao. There's another silence on the line. But this time, it's caused by me. Making others worry about me is something I've very actively tried to avoid since coming to Yamaku. Indeed, even my interaction with Hanako has helped stave off any major health problems thanks to our relaxed and slow-paced lives. What is there to worry about over me? I apologize. I didn't mean any offense. Sorry, I was just taken a bit off guard. Still, isn't Hanako a bigger problem at the moment? For some time now, I've thought that the both of you may be feeding into each other's more worrying habits. I tried to amend this before leaving, but it seems to have done little. Worrying habits? When I asked you about what you had in mind for the future, your answer was very similar to what Hanako asked said in the past, when that question was posed to her. It is well and good to want to protect her, but I fear that treating Hanako like this, as if she were a daughter or someone in need of special care, is only going to achieve the opposite. The situation got effectively turned on its head. After everything else happened, this is the first time I found myself doubting Lily's judgment. Oh boy. Hold on, I just gotta read that again, just for a quick second. Okay. Okay. So it's like what I was saying earlier. It's good to want to support your partner, help them, but you can't do it to an extent of wanting to do everything for them. Because then they really do start feeling useless. Or not useless, but they'll feel like you think that they're useless or can't do anything for themselves. So I think Lily finally said the one thing that I was hoping that he would somehow achieve on his own, but I am going to save it just in case. Let's see. I'll save over that one. I don't want to admit it, but she may have a point. Something else bugs me, though. And you try to amend this. Wait, our outing in the city? Quite astute. I thought that it might help if I dragged both of you out of Yamaku and into the wider world. I am thankful you became closer for it, though. Decision was agonizing for me when I first got to this as a teenager. That's extremely obvious. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to me, like I said, like he was like his thoughts earlier were already a red flag for me when he said, "I want to do this and this for her." I'm like, you sound like you're trying to fix her. And I feel like in the theme of this whole game, well, visual novel, where it's about people with disabilities, it almost feels very condescending and insulting when you're coming off in a way like, I can fix you. I was like 14 when I played this for the first time back in Titan. This was my first route. Oh. Like, I think teenage me would have thought the same thing too. I would have thought like, no, she needs to be protected or something, you know, or... But I know these things well enough to know that you can't do everything for that person. It's good to support them, like I said. Yes, there's a fine line between supporting them and then doing everything for them or trying to fix them or their problems. So maybe it's good that it seems like Hanako understood, at least to some extent, like, oh, he just wants to watch out for me. And she was trying to say it back to him, like, I want to watch out for you too. But I think right here would have been the turning point that if he fucking doubled down on it, oh man, I don't know. And you also got... I also feel like the best friend of someone should give you like a good insight of the person they're friends with. So she noticed that. I suppose she may well have been paying attention to us, and her hearing's incredibly good. Quite likely good enough to have picked up what we were talking about if she tried. This sounds more and more like you were manipulating us. Silence. It's a harsh way of putting it, but I have no intention of stepping back from those words. I'm sorry. I was just... Worried about you. Recommendations Katawa Shoujo was everywhere back then. Ah. It's fine. I guess there are more important things anyway. It's not a total surprise that she'd do such a thing. Her motherly nature can be slightly overbearing at times. But she does have the best of intentions. So, you think I should think about myself more instead of trying to cater to Hanako? That largely sums it up. Again, I'm sorry for not telling you this in a clearer way before going behind your back. I know I am at least as guilty of being overprotective of Hanako as you. But I fear that you are neglecting yourself in your efforts to give Hanako happiness. Do you really think Hanako will be okay? She isn't as fragile as you think. I don't know exactly what experiences she's lived through, or what feelings she has in her mind. But she has managed to work her way through them until now. It's also my hope that giving her a little space will allow her to decide what she truly wants for herself, and give her the initiative to reach out for it. Damn, it's not really. See if any of the CGs are censored in this story. I don't remember if any of them could be considered. Oh, okay. Please, have faith in Hanako. That's all I ask. I guess I'll think about it for a while. That's good. Being rash won't get you anywhere. I know that at times you may doubt your relationship to Hanako. But she does... Lily cuts herself off and takes a moment to reconsider her words. Please, keep in mind that I wouldn't have befriended you if I hadn't thought you a fundamentally good person. You're a good friend, both to myself and to Hanako. Thank you. That helps. We share some small talk to try and lighten the atmosphere, but it feels very stilted. There's a lot I don't know about Lily's stay in Scotland, but after such a heavy subject, I want to be alone for a bit to think. After a few minutes, we end up saying our goodbyes, and I set my phone on my desk. Compared to Hanako's situation, mine feels utterly mundane. I still have both my parents. I have a reasonably normal childhood, and unlike many in Yamago, my condition isn't immediately visible to the public. But then again, isn't this just an attempt to justify the way I've been acting towards her? That may well be what our past were like. When it comes to the future, I still have no idea what I want to do. In school, I've just concentrated on each day's work, and I put off more and more things to cater to Hanako. I recall the words Muto told me after Hanako's breakdown, about the purpose of Yamago in my education. In hindsight, he was probably trying to push exactly the same thing. Just what have I been doing in the time since my heart attack? If I ever did manage to get Hanako out of her room to open up, what then? I look out my dormitory bedroom window as the sun slowly sets. It's a nice sight, but what I really savor is the quiet as the students return to their dormitory rooms. All I want to do now is think. I'm not sure how much time I have, but I want to work out where I'll go from here. Since talking to Lily yesterday, I've wanted to try and move on from the listlessness I felt ever since coming to Yamago. But even if I try to concentrate on the book in front of me, Hanako's empty seat at the back of the classroom looms larger than life. Every time I start getting focused, my eyes flick over to her desk again, and my mind starts spinning. Oh, man. Oh, it's Miki, I think. Once more, my eyes drift over to it, but this time my vision is blocked by a certain other classmate. Oh, hey, Miki. Please not see him. Oh, another fun fact. The one time I happened to check to see maybe they might have added this onto Steam, it was on the very day it was released on Steam, and I freaked out. I was like, what? It's today? I've been wanting to play this or read this for so long. So when I got home, right away I just downloaded it. And yeah, I was so happy, honestly. Hey yo, big boy Ren. Welcome, welcome. Maybe you should just have lunch. I can hear her stomach growling from my desk. I was 4 when I saw it on Steam. Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised too. And it's funny because there's another game I've been waiting for it to be on Steam. And I've heard rumors that it's actually might be going on there. I don't know if you guys heard of it, but Off. Hey Charlie, welcome. But yeah, I'm waiting for Off to be on there. No, I've seen wishing I can't mention. Yeah, I found out from the awkward scenes I've seen on here that Steam is censored. However, I've heard there is a patch somewhere out there that you can put to remove the censorship. So there you go. I let my head drop in disappointment. She seems to take some amusement from my reaction and hops up on my desk. Her grin as she sits on it reminds me of the Cheshire Cat. So, what you working on? Some math. I have a decent handle on it, but I just wanted to revise. Oh, really? Let me see that. Before I can object, she grabs my mathematics book with her hand. She scans the page I was on, holding it open with the one hand she has, her left arm sitting uselessly on her lap. In my time here at Yamago, I've noticed that the other students have a wide range of adjustment to their disabilities. On a purely practical level, Miki's one of those who seem to have some trouble. The stump of her left arm tends to be either hanging by her side, slipped into a pocket, or otherwise put out of the way. Sometimes she has a difficult time doing common tasks, which makes her visibly quite frustrated. Setting game for the censor, though they might have kept that just to improve it, but I guess not. Oh yeah. I feel a little bad for thinking this way, but I'm thankful that Hanako and I don't have disabilities affecting our freedom of movement to that extent. And again, if Miki's problem worsened, at least she wouldn't have a real possibility of dying. My attention is refocused as she thumbs through a few pages, skimming their contents. With such casual interest in the subject matter, it's clear by now that she won't be any help. I'm guessing you're not too interested in this stuff. Screw math, it's boring as hell. She puts the book back in front of me with indifference. Her eyes move to the notebook beside it that I've been working out practice equations on. I agree with her. Math sucks. Wait, you're actually able to work that stuff out? Yeah. Wow. Never talked to a computer with legs before. Thanks, I think. At least I'm doing better in this than history. Think it's worth asking that a librarian for help? I heard she's shooting for uni. Oh, you go? Maybe. I don't know what she wants to study, though. So what about you? Got anything you're thinking of doing after you graduate? Me? Nah, not really. Just enjoying it while I laugh. She looks a little awkward when I ask about her future, and absentmindedly rubs her left forearm. I kind of want to ask her about it, but I don't think I know her well enough to do so. The conversation peters out, and I lean back in my chair, giving up on the prospect of studying. Miki notices my tired expression and looks oddly serious. Think about Hanako? Is that obvious? You've been glancing at her seat and you've been pretty quiet. Not too hard to connect the dots. I'm just worried about her. Yeah, I can see why you would be. She can get weird sometimes. She sounds put off, but I can't blame her. Hanako was a hard person to interact with before she warmed up to me. Even with Lily around to help. I haven't known her for that long either. Some of her habits would still be unknown to me. My face becomes troubled. If I hadn't developed feelings for her, this would be at least a little easier to deal with. I mean, no offense. She isn't a bad person, I know that much. I know, I didn't take it that way. It's just harder to deal with when, well, you know, you have feelings for someone. Yeah, I can imagine that. It's hard to forget something like that. Something like what happened to her during class 2. I wish it had reminded me of that. She just confirmed that it was clearly unnoticed by others in the room as well. Come on, don't get that down. She's done this before, you just gotta wait it out. She locks herself in her room and acts like an empty husk of a person for a sizable amount of time. Ever since she entered Yamaku, if not before then as well, and I'm not supposed to be concerned about that. Well, I might think that, but there's nothing that I can do. I can't force her to come out. If she does see a therapist, so it's not like she isn't getting any help for her issues. Maybe it's natural to think that way when you're so powerless to help someone. That's just the way she is, you just have to deal with it. As I mull things over, I notice a movement at the corner of my eye. I glance to see who it is, and end up doing a double take. She made it! Sure enough, it's Hanako. She walks to the door just as she would any normal school day, and begins to move towards her seat in her usual silent and humble manner. She looks at me for a moment before blushing and looking away in embarrassment, which makes me realize that I was staring at her. I feel sorry for that, but not doing it is hard after all that's happened. The girl sitting on my desk looks to me, grinning. See, your sweetheart's back already. What did I tell you? You be quiet. It might only be meant as a joke, but she hits close enough to make me quite uncomfortable. As we talk, someone calls Miki's name from the door. She jumps down from her vantage point on my desk before turning to me. Gotta go, Hisao. Remember to eat sometime, will ya? Fine, I will. See you. She gives a casual salute before jogging over to the door, where a male student in the gym uniform is waiting for her. Probably someone from the track and field club. Miki never got a root. Yeah, she's cool as fuck. Seizing the opportunity, I get up and make my way to Hanako's desk. Hello. Hi, Hanako. What's up? Nothing. Maybe talking to her this soon after she came back to class was a bad move. Wanna come with me and grab something from the cafeteria? I'm pretty hungry. But I thought you were studying. Studying can wait. Drink up for class after all this time must have taken some courage for Hanako. The least I can do is stay with her. That's just the way she is, and you just have to deal with it. It is the way Miki, and probably the class as a whole, views Hanako. I can do more for her, though. I want to do more for her. After being distracted by Miki, I don't think I'm going to get any work done. Come on, let's go. She hesitates, but eventually gets up and joins me as we begin walking. These may be some small steps for her, but the fact that she's finally out of her room of her own volition lifts a large weight off my shoulders. My pen busily scrawls into a slowly filling page of my notebook. My other hand remains on the page of a reference book I borrowed from the library, marking my spot as my eyes flicker to and fro. As I work, I occasionally mark red circles or underlines onto the photocopied sheets of paper that lie on the table in front of me. Wanting to change from scenery from the library to avoid the distractions of the classroom, I decided to make use of the Shanghai for some quiet study time. It ended up being nice and quiet as expected, and being able to get coffee while I study is a nice bonus. Hanako may have returned to her normal self since she came out of her room, but I've done quite the opposite. Daily routine may have returned to us, but I feel as if I'm a different person. Maybe I'm not. It's only been a few days, after all, that I decided I want to try and get out of the rut I found myself in after my accident. But I want to change, and I'm now actively working towards that goal. Or, at least I like to think that I am. Ugh, this is impossible. Brute forcing this isn't going to work. But tomorrow I have another piece of writing I have to do after this. I fear it's going to be no easier. I look up in mild surprise to the source of the tentative voice. Yuko stands at the head of the table with a damp towel in hand. Clearly haven't taken the opportunity to clean the tables while no other patrons were around. She looks curious, her eyes as much on my work as on me. What's the matter? I was just wondering, what sort of work are you having so much trouble with? Oh, it's just history. I'm fine with science and math. I'm trying to get my other subject up to par. Nika looks positively delighted at this development. I feel like I just chose the right answer on some big quiz show. Oh, I think I can help with that. If you don't mind, of course. I briefly considered turning down the offer in order to not cause her too much trouble, but she looks too excited about this for me to do it. It would be mean to shoot her down like that after such a reaction. If you're willing to help, I'd really appreciate it. She claps her hands together and quickly deposits her towel on the counter, before returning and taking a seat across from me. I take my notebook off the top of the textbook and hand it over for her to peruse. So, you're studying the Edo period. Yeah, I'm not really much good at this though. She takes the notebook and reads a few pages from a random section near the middle for a bit, but the aura of enthusiasm she'd been radiating previously is rapidly sapping away. I'm guessing this isn't the kind of history you're expecting. Unfortunately not. My main area is European history, especially in the classical era. Sorry. She looks a bit downcast, but as she carefully closes the book and lays it back down on the table, her face perks up again. Oh, would you like another cup of tea? Cup of coffee? Huh? Oh yeah, sure. I reach for and get my book back as Yuko gets up, takes my mug, and slowly walks to the counter to make another brew. As usual, she's absolutely silent as she does this. Every ounce of her concentration is focused on not tripping over or dropping the plain white mug. I take the opportunity to lay back and relax for a bit, the hum of the coffee machine filling the otherwise quiet air. It's small details like that which make me realize how much I've come to appreciate the little things in life. The peace and quiet of the local town, the discipline and order of Yamako, the green of the trees that were so rare in my home city, the relaxed pace at which the aging residents live their lives. Everything feels so certain. It's comforting. I can feel myself beginning to nod off when the sound of the mud coming to rest on the table grabs my attention. It seems like it arrived not a moment too soon. Yuko takes her previous seat once again as I pick myself up and bring a hand around the mug, check its temperature. It's just a little too hot to drink right away, so I blow on it a little. It's a shame you don't like history all that much. I sort of guessed you might be more into science. How so? You nearly read out the science fiction section of the library already. It wasn't hard to notice. You do have a good point there. Well, what can I say? You pegged me just about right. You sound like you really take an interest in history, though, especially considering how specific you were about it. Do you study in that area or something? Go on digs overseas? She giggles nervously at the thought. Oh, I like to visit the Mediterranean sometime and see the old architecture and art for myself. But I don't think I could trust myself to handle such delicate things. I'm saving up to formally study in university. Although I also read up on it whenever I have free time outside of work. So Miki was right about her university aspirations. Considering how she fares as a waitress, a more theoretical path may suit Yuko better. It's nice to hear that she has some ambitions, though, considering how hard she works. I nod and take a careful sip of my coffee. By now it's cooled to the right temperature, so I begin to drink while keeping an eye on the book below, trying to read at the same time. A few minutes pass by quietly, Yuko looking out the window and watching the world go by, while I have my coffee and study. A movement catches my eye, and I look up to see Yuko smiling and waving to someone outside. Following her gaze, surprisingly reveals the someone to be Hanako. She's looking at us from the side of the street across from where we are. Her usually all too visible timidity is largely absent, probably thanks to there being so few people around right now. excuse me. Evidently, she decides to join us. As after a little wave, she gives a quick glance up and down the street and across towards the side that the cafe is on. The familiar doorbell to the Shanghai rings out as Hanako enters and makes her way to the table we're sitting at. Hello. Good afternoon. Hi, Hanako. What's up? Nothing. Just going for a walk, since the weather was nice. Ah, yeah, I get what you mean. I'm glad I decided to study here instead of the library. It's comfortable in here, thanks to that. Better than the sometimes quite stuffy library. I like Yuko, who nods in response. It's nice. It's just a shame that summer can't last forever. Oh, wait, sorry, would you like a drink? Hanako shakes her head. Thankfully, it's enough to calm Yuko back down. How are you doing with studying? Okay. Ish. Oh yeah, have you talked with Lily? I'm interested too. How is she doing? She's enjoying it, I think. I think that's all we're going to get out of her. Being around Yuko is tensing her up. Ah, yeah, it's so nice to travel to Scotland. Green fields, castles, lovely small towns, men in kilts. Interesting history. I can't say I see the appeal of men in kilts myself, but it does seem like a picturesque place, though. As we talk, the jingle of the doorbell rings again. Hanako startled, noticing Yuko's panicked expression at the prospect that she might lead customers to wait a handful of seconds due to her chatter with us. Yuko gives us a quick bow, then hastily scooters over and greets the new customers. An elderly man and his wife. I watch her for a bit, craning my head around to get a good view. Hanako's staring at me with her one visible eye. She rests her head in embarrassment as I turn to make eye contact. I was just thinking that it's nice to have ambitions for the future. Yuko was telling me a little about her university aspirations before. Oh. That's a shame. If she wasn't so neurotic and overworked, I think she could be a really happy person. As much as I like to play host to Hanako and entertain her a bit, I do need to study as well. To be honest, I don't think the distraction on Yuko helped either. Sorry if I've been distracted. I need to try and get this done. Otherwise, I'm going to flunk the history exams pretty hard. I left running my hand through my hair in frustration. That letter needs doing as well. Letter? What? The letter needs doing as well once I get back to my dormitory room. I hope I have more luck with that than this. Damn. Oh, well, what with? Oh, I was going to write to Iwanako. Right now, though, this is more important. All I've done is rattle myself. I can't focus on the work in front of me when my stomach is slowly turning at the prospect of actually attempting to write her back after all this time. I force myself to concentrate on the book, picking up my pen once I have a quick sip of coffee. Just a few seconds, Hanako stops silently watching me and leans back on her seat, relaxing as much as she ever seems to be able to, looking out the window to pass the time. We stayed like this for a long time, before leaving for the dormitories together. I'm surprised she had the patience to wait me out. Me too. Iwanako's letter lies on my desk, beside a blank sheet of lined paper and an unused envelope. Tapping on my pen is the only thing to be heard this late at night. As I feared, my second task for the day turned out to be just as difficult as the first one, if not harder. It's been so many months since we even saw each other. Even so, I can still remember what she looked like, what she sounded like, and what she acted like. Oh, excuse me. By now, though, the little details are beginning to slip away. Get water, hold on. Okay. When I first saw her letter, I barely recognized her handwriting at all. Even the pink pen she always used was forgotten until her writing reminded me of it. I don't know why she didn't use it for the letter. She should write everything with it. Maybe she thinks it's too mature now. I should be thinking about myself, and about what I want to communicate to her. My mind can't stop concentrating on her, though. on the past we shared before it was taken away so suddenly. The bright and slightly garish decorations suit her sense of aesthetics. Picking up the letter to take a closer look at it, I give a long sigh. This is the last link binding me to my past. Hanako doesn't suddenly cease to exist when she left my hospital room for the last time. But I needed this letter to remind me of that. I had all those feelings neatly filed away. It felt as if I didn't need them, that I could just begin life completely anew. It was easier that way. In the end, I suppose that was a rather naive thing to think. Sooner or later, my past would have caught up with me one way or the other. But what am I supposed to say to her? Thank you for bringing me closure. All the letter did was end the sense of closure I previously felt. Oh, excuse me. Try as I might, I can't write so much as a single word down on the paper in front of me. I can't even think of what exactly I want to say. Putting the letter down on top of the blank sheet, I gathered the materials together and found them away in my drawer. The clunk the desk makes as it closes makes me momentarily tense with frustration. Before I get up and go grab a drink from the vending machine on the first floor. I tried, but I couldn't do it. After all the time that's passed, I still don't know how to deal with Hanako. Okay, we'll probably have to stop here, because it's getting close to that time. I guess we have to get rid of this one. I do like that this is slowly filling up with more pictures. Oh, I didn't know this time. Yep, it's getting close. I started noticing when I started yawning a bit more right now, and I was like, oh, what time is it? That's... Yep. Well. It's probably a good idea to, stop there anyway. My throat was starting to get a little weird. Alright, so here we are. I think we're getting close to Hanako's story end. Hopefully I picked the right choice. But we'll find out later, I guess. Anyway, so next week I'm thinking of starting up Persona 3. I really want to try it, and I think it's night time to do it. So, what do you think you'll do next? I'll admit I have been thinking heavily about doing Emi's route. I've done Shizune, I've done Lily. Now it's Hanako, so Emi's the next one that I really want to check out. Because I haven't seen too much of her, and that's kind of why I'm curious about her. Alright, so anyway, guys. Have a good rest of your morning, day, night, whatever. I will see you tomorrow with the Final Fantasy series, A Walk in the Light. Izzy and I will continue our tour, and we're going to be starting Ishgard soon. The start of Heaven's Word for Final Fantasy 14. Alright, so if you can, you're free to join us. If you can't, that's fine too, don't worry about it. But we still hope to see you there. Alright then, guys. Have a good night. I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.